Hello and welcome everyone to a new video on our YouTube channel. So today's video we're going to be showing you how to diagnose and fix driveline vibrations on this 2005 BMW X3. The problems that we are facing is that we have some weird vibrations under any driving circumstance. Either we're going uphill or downhill, accelerating or decelerating, we have a vibration of some sort. So now we're going to go from our house to the garage and we're going to show you how the car is acting on the road on the way. Okay guys, so now that we got the car up on some jack stands, we're gonna start by dropping down the exhaust from the front to the back. As you can see, we got the whole exhaust system out of the way. We removed a couple of nuts on the back side and two exhaust hangers in the middle of the car, as well as the collector pipe towards the front. Now we're gonna do the most important thing, which is to fire the car up and heat it with open headers. So now after we had enough fun, we're gonna go under the car and start removing these heat shields to expose the drive shaft. Okay guys, so here we are under the car, and as you can see, this is the Giubo or the flex disc. As you can see, it's worn down, all the fibers are coming out of it here and here. And I can stick my finger right near the bolt hole. So this hole should only be as big as the bolt is. It's worn down. And in addition to the Giubo, we have the center support bearing, the carrier bearing. As you can see, it's also shot. This should be rock solid and you should not be able to move it at all. So it needs to be replaced too. Okay guys, so we're gonna mark where the center support bearing. We're gonna make a line around its mounting place, just to be sure that we put it back in the same place, because we don't want to cause any unnecessary vibrations. Just we're gonna trace it from the outside like that. We're also gonna mark where the drive shaft. I know the Giubo is gonna be replaced, but I'm gonna mark on the drive shaft and put a mark on the yoke on the transmission side, just in the area where this bolt is, like that maybe. Okay, it's good enough. And we're gonna put one also on the drive shaft, between the drive shaft and the differential. Okay guys, so make sure you use the car as a leverage before unbolting the drive shaft to at least loosen this nut, which holds the two parts of the drive shaft together, because you need to remove it in order to replace the center support bearing. Now we're gonna start unbolting the drive shaft from the transmission. I'm gonna remove the drive shaft from the front and to remove the Giubo. Now we're gonna put the car in neutral and spin the drive shaft to access the rest of the bolts, and then put it back in park to break them loose. After unbolting the drive shaft from the front, we have two more bolts on the center support bearing, and 4 bolts on the differential. We're going to remove the differential first, and then the center support bearing to drop the drive shaft as one unit. After unbolting everything, we can drop the drive shaft down. If it is stuck on the differential or on the transfer case, just yank it away. And just like that, the drive shaft is out. Guys, so now we're gonna disconnect the two drive shafts from each other. What you need to do is remove this bolt, this nut I mean, then you need to pull this bushing back. I'm gonna mark one on the splines and one on the drive shaft here, just to make sure we put it back where it was, because drive shafts are balanced from factory and we do not want to interrupt that balance. Pull the nut and the bushing out. Then we have a C-clamp, a C-clip inside that we need to remove. This is what holds the center support bearing on. So as you saw, guys, sometimes the bearing gives us hard times to remove it off from the drive shaft. We used some heat and banged it out of the way. This should be one piece with this, but as you can see, it broke, which caused the vibration. We also can't forget or deny that this also caused the vibration to be more excessive. Okay guys, so it's the next day here, and as you can see, we got ourselves the new parts that we need to install. Here we have the Giubo or the flex disc. As you can see, this is the old one. This is the brand new one. And this is the old center support bearing. And here we have the new one. Let's crack it open, just like that. Now we're gonna start by installing the center support bearing onto the drive shaft. As you remember, the old center support bearing was stuck on the shaft here. So make sure you clean it with a fine sandpaper. Spray some WD-40 on the mating surface. This is the outside of the center support bearing. Hold it like that. Okay guys, so one thing to note on the installation of the center support bearing is do not smack it with the hammer, because you will risk damaging the new rubber or the new bearing or even the U-joints. So you can use a piece of wood like we used, hold it like that and smack on it. If you clean the surface of the yoke really good, it will slide in easier. Now we're gonna install the C-clip and then continue connecting the drive shafts together. Now we take the lock nut and the bushing, slide it on the drive shaft. Now we take a dab of grease, put it on the splines, just like that. This way everything will slide in and be happy. Now after we finished installing the center support bearing, we're gonna mount on the flex plate, flex disc, on the drive shaft, then assemble it on the transmission as one unit. Now it's time to go under the car and install the drive shaft. So after we finished installing the drive shaft, it's time to set the heat shield back in place. Okay guys, so we finished mounting the heat shield. As you can see, it mounts with this bracket that has the exhaust hangers on it and a couple of screws on around the perimeter of its surface and this plate here. Now it's time to bring in the exhaust and start bolting her up. Okay guys, so as you saw, we hooked up the exhaust from the back side. We still have to hook it up on the hangers in the middle and then bolt it to the downpipe. Got ourselves some new exhaust gaskets because the old ones are cracked. Here are the new ones. Now we're gonna go down and continue bolting the exhaust. Now after putting everything back together, everything from the bottom is bolted up. I'm gonna start her up. So just like that, we showed you how to solve the vibrating issue that you have in your BMW X3. We showed you how to replace the flex disc and the center support bearing. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go check out the video where we rebuilt the transfer case on this car and another video where we rebuilt the transfer case actuator on another BMW just like this one. This is gonna conclude this video. See you on the next one. Peace.